what does deprivation of liberty mean?
Oh, right. Deprivation of liberty immediately for me has almost a public relations problem around it because of how it's phrased. I think if I was to ask most of the general public, what do you understand by a deprivation of liberty, they would probably either think the prison service or the high-end compulsory elements of the Mental Health Act. If I was to say to most people, I need to deprive your loved one of their liberty, most people would be horrified by the idea. On the other hand, if I was to say to them, we need to preserve your loved one's liberty, that would have a different feel of it altogether. The deprivation of liberty safeguards are safeguards to protect people's liberty who can't consent to their own care and treatment. And there are a set of safeguards that are in place. And when somebody is subject to continuous supervision and control and not free to leave and lack capacity to make those decisions for themselves, a safeguard is to protect their liberty. Now, straight away from a parent's point of view, they might be very worried about hearing not free to leave. What I mean by that is not that they can't go out and not that they can't go anywhere and they can't exercise choices. It's what would the provider do if that person didn't come back? And if I was entrusting my loved one to the care of a provider, I'd want to know that those providers would do something about it. I want to know that they'd phone the police or looked fit to see where my loved one was. So when we say not free to leave, the question really is what would happen if the person didn't come back? And if the answer is, well, we'd phone the police, we'd look for them, we'd need to have them back in our care, then that's what that actually means. So it's about protecting liberty, not taking it away from somebody. And the safeguards are around ensuring that. So there are a statutory framework that's put in place. The DOL safeguards themselves apply in very limited areas. It's registered care homes and hospitals. But for people who live in shared lives, supported living, or in receipt of 24-hour care in their own home, subject to continuous supervision and control and not free to leave, their liberty still may need to be safeguarded, but that decision would need to go through the Court of Protection. And again, it's all about protecting liberty, not taking it away from someone. And that's the whole purpose of them.
Okay. And do the deprivation of liberty standards apply to all ages?
The deprivation of liberty safeguards apply to people 18 plus.
Right.
16 plus, decisions will have to be taken either by the family courts if it looks like this won't continue from 18 onwards, or it might be more worthwhile to go to the Court of Protection, which is the adult court, to make the decision if this is going to continue. So, for example, if you had a young person with a learning disability in residential childcare, they'd been in residential childcare with parental consent up to the age of 16. Come 16, parental authority is not enough. They're now subject to continuous supervision and control and not free to leave. Their deprivation of liberty to receive this care and treatment needs to be authorised. And that would need to go, as I say, either to the family courts or the Court of Protection. The care and its quality doesn't alter at all. It's just that safeguard of liberty is now put in place for this young, developing adult in that 16 to 18-year-old bracket.